So I'm back with an update because he responded in the AMs again. And honestly, this will be the last video of me speaking about him.
Hi, in everything, yeah, stand to some. You could have spoke to me. I'm coming from interview mntana. Yo, I'm done sangana she. So I'll just wait. I've asked these people because I don't know what's happening with my app. God. I've been told by management Gazandi that I mustn't come and see the show. And now I'm going with all the security. They're kicking me out of the place. They're saying you are not allowed to come and see your daughter.
Yeah. At 3 a.m. I got a call from him on some please bear with me guys, right? I was half awake and whatever he was saying, some of the things, they just didn't make sense. He's like, hey, I'm from an interview. Yeah, Doja, or meeting, something like that. And then he's like, where do you stay? I'm in Pretoria, where do you stay? I tell him. Oh, he's like, oh, hi, my baby. Mind you, we haven't spoken in months. I can't even remember the last time I spoke to him. Right? So now he's like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm sure you're sleeping. Yes, I am sleeping. And he's like, yeah, thing is, I've been trying to call Uzandile and her management and they're not picking up my calls, so I thought of you. There's no way you thought of me. What do you want? What do you want? I thought of you. Yeah, so thing is, I needed someone to send me 200. What? Excuse me? Yeah, so I need 200 for petrol. I'm stranded where I am. Mind you, this is the same person who hasn't done jack for me. Nothing. Zero. Nothing. I've invited him to come watch me perform. He has never purchased a ticket. He's always on some I'll check my schedule.
What is up, YouTube? My name is Happiness and welcome to my channel. So yeah, we are looking at Dumisani Dlamini. Well, eventually Doja Cat's dad. So eventually this is his other daughter. This is his other daughter. So what is happening is that I don't know what's this thing of deadbeat dad, but the way it sounds like she herself like knows the dad herself compared to like Doja Cat. So let's look at videos of Doja Cat whereby we get to understand like the situation with her and her dad, you know, like what make their relationship fall apart.
On a lighter note, I was messaging my father because he's here in Africa, and he said that he couldn't make it to my show because I don't message him enough and I didn't call him on WhatsApp. So I sent him gay porn, and they said if you go to this link you can get a ticket. It's super duper easy. And he said, oh yes, I will send this to my management. My management will handle all of this. At the moment, I'm just very busy doing costume and rehearsal. So at the moment, I cannot do this myself. So fair, right? And so then he's at work, right? And he's working, and so he just keeps on messaging me, and he says, I'm just very busy right now, and I can't get to the phone. I can't do this at the moment, and then keeps messaging that to me. And then I sent him the website again. He said, "What is the website?" Because we were messaging each other, but he didn't see the link the first time, and so I sent it again, and he said, "Darling, what is this? What I'm seeing is gay porn." It's like a porno on my screen, and I don't know if it's a scam, because I feel like I'm scamming here. So please, sweetheart, I don't know what to do with this. I can't get the ticket.
Okay, yeah, quite a funny way to, when your father's trying to, like, when you're trying to reunite with your dad, like, but yeah, what a funny skit on TikTok.
Have you met him yet, by the way?
No, never.
So
I've never met him, and he's on Instagram, and he comments on like pictures sometimes. Maybe not anymore, but he did a few times, like months ago. And he's an incredible dancer and a great actor. But yeah, no, I don't know him very well. Yes, when I was like 13, I like wanted to see him, and then I don't know what happened. But yeah.
So I've been getting this question quite a lot, and I think that I should provide a bit of a context to tell you how this came about. So I've been traveling for over a week, and I suddenly started receiving these emails and these questions and these DMs from people asking me about Doja Cat. What then occurred to me was that a blogger or YouTube vlogger had decided to make a video about Doja Cat and her dad. And clearly this individual had done quite a bit of research and on the internet, and they found a blog post that I'd written in 2010. And in that time, Doja Cat sent me an email on YouTube when she was 14 years old, because I used to make these videos on YouTube, and I think I was probably one of very few South Africans, if any, who were making videos in 2010 on YouTube. And I was also one of very few people of color who were making videos on YouTube. Yes, I'm a YouTube ancestor. And back then, YouTube had like a DM functionality, which is actually was more like an email. And they deactivated this a few years ago. But before she actually sent me the email, is that she had commented on my YouTube video, on a comment on the video, saying that she was looking for her dad. And then what I did is that I DM'd her directly. And when I read the email from her, my heart broke. I was absolutely devastated, and I wanted to see if there was anything I could do at the time. And then I asked her if it was okay, because I used to write these blogs as well. And then I asked her if I could write a blog about this in case someone who knows him had come across it, because my blog was kind of fairly popular-ish, if you will, at the time, and I'd put it on Twitter as well. And I said, there's someone who's looking for their father, and her dad is Dumisani Dlamini, who is this well-known South African actor. And I'll be honest, when she told me the name, I had no idea who he was. But when I Googled him, I was like, oh my goodness, I know this guy. I've seen him in many series in South Africa. He's pretty well known. I just didn't know that his name was Dumisani Dlamini. So what I did is that when I put up this thing on Twitter, and people read the blog, but no one really paid that much attention to it, and no one really tried to do anything. And I made a few calls, and I called a cousin of mine who was also a pretty well-known actor. And I called him and I asked him if he knows this guy, and he said, yes, he does, and if he knows where he is. And he told me that he'd check around for me. And he got back to me a few days later and told me that the last thing he heard was that he is in Namibia. Once he told me this, and I asked him if he could just, give Doja Cat's email address to the father, and my number and my email address if possible. And, my cousin says, he made contact and I have no reason not to believe him. But that is the last I heard of anything, and it just went cold. And I gave her information that, well, the last thing I heard was that he's in Namibia and the trade is just cold. I can't get hold of him. And that was that. But we did have quite a bit of a back and forth email where she was correcting some facts that I got wrong when I wrote in the blog. And then in 2014, I got an email. This is 4 years later. I received an email from a daughter of Dumisani Dlamini, a Yolanda Foster, I believe. And she said that she'd love to get in touch with her because she came across my blog. And she'd asked for her email address. And then I said, listen, Amala hasn't responded to my emails since 2011, so I don't know what's going on. And then I forwarded her email address to her. And that is the last I had anything to do with trying to find and trying to connect Doja Cat with her siblings or or her father, Dumisani Dlamini. So yeah, that's that on that. And this was before Doja Cat was Doja Cat, and she was Amala Zandile Dlamini, like a 14-year-old kid who was just trying to find a dad. And when I say, guys, I cried when I read her email to me. I cried. It was heartbreaking.
So yeah, now we are getting to see an idea of that even her, well, Doja, well, let me just call her Amala, back in 2011, 2014, she tried to get a hold of her father. I mean, like, that's why she was asked in an interview, like, and then what happened when you tried to get a hold of your father? And then she was like, I don't know, nothing happened. But it does show that she always had an interest of trying to know who her father. I mean, like, it's like this thing, like, whereby your father is this famous actor, and for sure, I mean, like, even though like she must have seen when she was growing up her father on TV. I mean, like, even though she would watch all these Sarafina, Yizo, of his dad acting, like, she always had that thing of wanting to know, like, how was my father like, like, that's why I feel that she wanted to get a hold of him. But let's hear on what Dumisani Dlamini said.
Or if in every social media platform. Today, it's a day for me because I know everyone has been saying, but Dumisani is quiet, he's not saying anything. Today I want to tell you the fact. I've worked so hard to make my name, which is my reputation. I've worked so hard to fight for this country with Sarafina. And then I made a platform for this world to be where it is. And then I happened to meet Doja Cat, so-called Doja Cat, but I named her Zandile. And then I've been sad, but no one knows what happened. But today, without a media briefing, guys, let me tell you, you can't be in a foreign country and find a woman, a white woman with 3 kids, and then you make 2 kids with her, and then she becomes so lucky that she gives birth to the superstar, and then she gives information to the superstar that your father is not a good man. I'm talking about a white woman, Jewish woman. Today, I want to tell the world that I'm not going to be used by a white woman with 3 kids, that I was feeding those kids with the money of Sarafina. And my name and my reputation as a good man. I love my kids.
Okay, like, I just want to stop it there. I mean, like, he says that, like, because if I must be understanding this, the time when he was touring the States because of Sarafina, that's how he got to meet Doja Cat's mother. So eventually, like, the mother still had other kids of her own, like, as he says, that 3 kids. And I must be honest, like, for you as a man to still make love or want to marry or let your kids have your last name whilst the mother, okay, like impregnating, or like, I don't know how to put it, but okay, finding a woman with 3 kids and loving that woman whilst she still has those 3 kids too, which are not yours. I mean, like, that is something to which maybe, like, I would say that maybe, like, he must have been super in love and wanted to marry the lady, you know, for him to give her some 2 more kids, you see. But let's still continue to hear his side of the story.
I took care of her kids, Deborah. 3 kids, white kids. They hated me. And on top of that, I spoke to Deborah that I would love you to come home. And she came home. She met my family. But no one ever talked about that. And today, just because I gave birth to a superstar with money, and then it happened that white woman brainwashed my baby, that I left her. I never left my kid. And everyone saw it. She played the cards because of influence of her mother. She came to South Africa. She just got power to see me. And she faked it. So what I want to say is to say to you guys, I am sorry if I've touched anyone's nerve. I'm a man of integrity, respect, and love. Please don't hate my baby.
Yeah, I mean, like, it seems like their conversation, well, he did say that he did have a conversation with her, but it seems like it went south. But, you know, like, I can say, like, from my side of the family, like, let me tell you about my mother. So my mother grew up not knowing, I mean, like, the situation with my mother and, like, Doja Cat, like, is, like, to be 100% is, like, the same, like, because what Dumisani did is that he had to go back to South Africa to go and continue with acting, because maybe you find that America never gave him all those opportunities. And maybe what he said, that he took the mother with the children to South Africa, you see. But hence, I was trying to say that my mother, like, her own dad left South Africa to move to Lesotho to look for greener pastures, because back then, before 1994, like, okay, like, her father, like, left for Lesotho at the ages of 23, some of the over there, but, well, my mother never knew her dad. Like, it's like that. So because of the apartheid laws in South Africa, black people were never given that opportunity. So that's why my grandfather decided to move to another country, you see. So despite that, being my mother, like, she always wanted to know who her father is, but because of like my grandmother, I cannot blame my grandmother because maybe at that time she was trying to protect my mother, you see, but like my mother, to be honest, she's the one who was trying to find out who her father is. And it came to a point whereby the time she turned like 50, in her 50s, she started to know her dad in her 50s. Like, imagine that. I mean, it's different with Doja Cat, whereby she had this chance, like, was looking at her in the eyes at age 30, 31, you see, to meet her dad. So, in terms of my mother, like, yeah, the situation is that in her 50s, but she did meet her dad, but unfortunately, my granddad passed away because of COVID. So, in cases like this, I mean, like, you have to cherish the moments to which you still have on this earth to make peace, like, because eventually, what if, like, your dad, passes away? Like, you can never turn back the hands of time. With the help of my mother's aunt, she was able to reunite with my grandfather. She went to Lesotho, another country, the very same thing to which Doja Cat, like, her career let her come to South Africa. She was given that opportunity to go. She went to Lesotho to meet her dad. And yeah, I mean, like, eventually, then granddad came and visited the family house here in South Africa and saw that her daughter is a successful teacher. And, but, like, at the end of the day, like, let's make peace, like, let's not be angry at the fathers to which left, like, you never know the situation. What was the situation? You never know because you never know.
For a place that I've never been to, I sure do feel like I've been here before. That's what's special about South Africa. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to everyone here tonight.
Okay, there you go. Like, she was emotional herself, but yeah, like, this is home, man. Like, eventually, this is home away from home. So yeah, eventually, but I'm glad that as long as she came to South Africa, but like, she should still fix, like, the situation with her and her dad, because at the end of the day, it's not about because now she is famous. Now her father wants to meet up. No, that's not the case. But it's just a case of, like, I feel that even the dad always wanted to, you know. But man, I don't know, man. Like, I'll never know. We will never know the full story. We will never know the full story. But I'm glad that she came to South Africa. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching my channel. Like, please like and subscribe. And yeah, let's meet up to the next video. And how I like to say it, guys, peace out.
So I'm back with an update because he responded in the AMs again. And honestly, this will be the last video of me speaking about him.
In everything, yeah, stand Sam, you could have spoke to me ukuthi mhlawumbe ufuna ukuclimba kuyile nto but ukushayina kwi-light yengane yami sengitshelwa i-management yami to post it and to post it. Look, you don't have to delete it, but somehow we'll meet, and then or you can continue. I'm recording. You can put it and post again. What was that for? What was that for? Ukuthi uhambe kwi-social media ukhulume into ekhulumayo. Good night. Take care.
Oh, and he just deleted the voice note. But I will send a screenshot in the comments. So yep, that's my life. Yeah, it's the fact that he thinks that he has the key to my success. He would actually open doors for me. He's the way to me being big and all. No, my dear. I've never, if that's what I wanted, I would have reached out to you on some, oh, hi, it's your daughter. Can you please plug me with a job in the industry? I didn't do any of that. I didn't. I'm actually embarrassed on his behalf, to be quite honest. Yeah, so clearly he lacks accountability, respect, and I don't know, he just needs to forgive himself. I feel like man, it's fine. I'm just gonna move on with my life, you know. I have a very strong support system. I don't need that. I don't need all this toxicity. My life in Yak. I was minding my business up until he called me. But it's cool. Okay, January chips. It's like 200. Yak.